Testing 1 2 3. Okay, looks like we're live. Morning everybody. Today is August 3rd and this is a video of the 1967 Karmann Ghia that's currently on Bring a Trailer. I've had quite a few questions come in wanting to know kind of like do a walk around video, and I figured this would be a good opportunity. The sun's out, it's not too hot, so I'm going to do kind of a 360, just a general walk around. And I want to point out some features of this particular car that I think are a standout. There's a lot of really neat features about 67 Karmann Ghias, and some of the VW Ghia people probably be familiar with some of those little oddities. This car has some really unique features, not just 67 features, but features of originality that I think make it just absolutely spectacular and make this car one of a kind. So for starters, and you'll have to excuse my video making skills, much improvement could be had. I haven't made too many of these, but I think we can accomplish what we're looking to do with my basic skill set here. I'm going to step up over a curb, try not to trip and fall. Okay, that went well. So I'll do just a basic walk around, kind of showing some of the different angles, try to highlight the quality of the body and paint. This car is extremely straight, and I'll come up on the panels here in a minute and try to do kind of a side shot. The body and paint work on this car is absolutely spectacular. It was invited to a concourse that unfortunately we weren't able to attend because of COVID. The shows, or lack thereof, in the Pacific Northwest, and this probably goes across the country, have been far and few between. But it's definitely a show quality car. You know, I kind of hate to use that term because it's so subjective, but I'll come in for a closer look here. The bumpers have been redone, front and rear, beautifully re-chromed, and just super straight. And re-chroming Karmann Ghia bumpers are not for the faint of heart. It's a very expensive process. Hard to find good cores, and hard to find a good chrome shop nowadays that does a true, triple plate show chrome. Headlight rings are replated. Turn signal bases also replated. The nose is absolutely beautiful. There's a shot of the front nose grills and the front emblem. Nicely detailed trunk. Now the trunk liner, this is one of the standout features I wanted to call out in this video. Trunk liner's original. Spare tire, also original to the car. You can see how nice the front trunk latch is. And the gas tank is also beautiful. It's been repainted black. Unfortunately, it gets covered up by the trunk liner, but it's very pretty beneath the trunk liner. New top, and the body trim's been replaced. And this car also has a matching convertible top boot. If you look in the photo gallery, you'll see some pictures that I took of the car top down with the boot on. And then I took a set of pictures top up, just so you can kind of get an idea of what the car looks like aesthetically in both configurations. The top boot fits like a glove. It's nice and tight. It snaps into place with the buttons that are around the perimeter. This series of snaps here on this trim is where that attaches. There's the license plate light. Lenses are perfect, there's no cracks. There's the proper Volkswagen script on the deck lid. 67 was the first year for reverse lights. So if you ever see a Karmann Ghia buzzing down the road and it's got reverse lights, good chance it's a 67 or newer. I always thought those looked really clean and functional. The way they put the reverse lights on this blade, they're not obnoxious, but they're just really clean. They sit low enough where it doesn't break the lines up of the car. But also, it's kind of nice to have working reverse lights. There's a driver's side shot there. Okay, so a couple other things I wanted to highlight on this video. This car has the original windshield. Let's see if I can zoom in on the logo here. There's a VW logo, and I believe that translates into a date code. It's really unusual to see a Karmann Ghia with the original windshield in it still, and I'm kind of a sucker for originality. That's a really cool feature. I called out the front trunk liner. I thought that was neat. The other thing that goes unnoticed, but I just think it's cool, is this car has the original firewall sound deadener. And not only does it have the original sound deadening, it actually still has the side pieces. So there's a piece that sits over here, and there's a piece that sits over here. And 99% of the time, when you see a nice low mileage Ghia, those side pieces, because they're removable and they have to come out, for example, if you had to change a running light or tail light bulb, that sound deadener has to come out, and they usually don't get reinstalled. This car has a complete sound deadening kit, original to the car, really uncommon. And then I wanted to zoom in. The 67 people out there will love this. Okay, so that is the original motor. And if you ever hear somebody refer to H cases, that term gets tossed around in the forums and online. What that's referring to is a 67 case. This is obviously a 67 case, original motor to the car, which is kind of cool. Original transmission, all the drivetrains original to the car. And it's got 67,000 original miles. And I think that pretty much covers a 360 walk around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and we're going to get a clip of the old Ghia cruising down the road. Be right back. Okay, I knew I was forgetting something. My walk around video probably should include some interior shots. Okay, this car has got original door panels. One of my favorite features about this car is the interior. That's the original door panel, and this car has original seat upholstery, original dash pad, original wood grain on the dash. Just all the signs of a really nice low mileage car. I folded that seat forward so you could see the condition of the vinyl on the back of the seats. Sometimes those get scuffed up. These are just pristine. All original. Back seat. Hopefully that's a good angle there. Back seats. Original upholstery. Car's had carpeting. It's got a nice high quality German square weave carpet installed, and very few miles since it was finished. I went ahead and opened the glove box because I always kind of like seeing the details. And you'll see the inside of the glove box. That's the original cardboard material glove box. Just really nice. And then there's a couple of stickers I wanted to point out here. Okay, so back to Originality and how much I just love it. Here's the original shifting recommended, well, shifting pattern is not recommended, but the speed at which to shift for sedan and Karmann. Pretty cool to have that. That's a dealer installed sticker. And then there's another one over here that is the tire pressure. Another really neat dealer added decal. There's a shot of the driver's side door panel. It's beautiful. And I'll try to get a good view of the driver's seat here. Now, the reproduction upholstery just doesn't look the same to me. It just doesn't have the same, the pleats and the seams. It just never looks quite right. That's a factory correct 100% OEM seat. No tears, no rips, minimal wear. Headliner's been replaced. Headliner was done when the top was done. It does have the correct plastic rear window, which is what a 67 Karmann Ghia should have. The glass rear window, which would have been used in the Beetle by this point. The Beetles had glass, but Karmann's didn't see a glass rear window until 69. So they had a little something different they were doing on the Beetles compared to the Karmanns. There's a decorative chrome strip there above the back window. And I think I showed this earlier, but there's a shot of the rear trim. Okay, so we did front trunk, we did some interior, talked about the engine bay. Now we're going to do some driving. Let's have some fun. So I think we're... Oh, would you mind zooming in on the license plate lights, please? Just to show us they also work. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we didn't bore you to death, and appreciate you watching. Have a good day. Okay, last clip I wanted to do was around body and paint quality and how straight the car is. So I'm going to try to sight down the driver's side here. And you can see the car is just beautifully prepped and blocked out and just breathtaking. That's the reflection of the flowers. And then I've got a t-shirt on with some printing on it. And you hear about like a mirror. Well, let's put that to the test. Okay, so there's the reflection in the driver door. I have a Czechs Bubble Hockey t-shirt on, and hopefully you can read that pretty good. Car was cut and buffed, just beautifully detailed. We'll do the same thing over here on the passenger side. Kind of sight down the side here. See how flat that quarter is and how beautiful that reflection is. And one of the big things with Karmann Ghias, early Porsches are no different, is it's all about door gaps. And on convertibles, it's really hard to find cars with just killer door gaps. Well, this is my definition of what a door gap should be. Front and rear, evenly spaced. The door hinges, and I'll do the same thing on the driver's side. The door hinges were rebuilt. They tend to sag, especially the driver's side. It tends to sag over time just because of use. The door hinges are nice and tight on this car, as you'll see. Hard to find a better gap on this vintage Karmann Ghia than that. That is just right what it should be. Okay, I'm done talking.